Hello, I'm Steve Monkey Mason. Welcome back to my podcast series. I'm joined once again by Carl.
Hello.
Hi, we just want to say a massive shout out to the guy who decided to dislike every podcast I've ever done last night and a random tangent. It's just a picture, which I had to translate out of Spanish. But yeah, these are podcasts. These are for entertainment purposes only. They're not free full movies. Carl's quite good at that if you want to catch a free movie off Carl. But today we are doing... What's that you laughing? We are doing Demolition Man. I'm going to count down from 5. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, play it. So yeah, Demolition Man is starting to play.
Warner Brothers.
Warner Brothers early... This has got to be one of the first times this one's been... No. It's too CGI in it. This, I remember, like, Warner Brothers, like, used to always be like a very jaggedy, sketchy blue thing going on. So this is this is based off the LA riots. Now I absolutely fucking love this film. It's definitely in my top 5 Stallone films. It captures so much of the time for me because this was the big one coming out on VHS when I was a kid. Like, I couldn't wait to see this.
Well, yeah, I mean, Stallone was at the hype, you know what I mean? He'd done so much, and obviously you're well into the mix of whether it be Stone, Schwarzenegger, all them. So to be honest with you, you kind of know you're going to be in for a good one whenever you see those names pop up. So, and especially with Wesley Snipes as well.
Well, Snipes didn't want to do it originally. He had done New Jack City, and he had done the producer and director went down while he was doing Rise and Sun. And so he had just literally just teamed with Sean Connery, and wasn't too sure about it, but he's absolutely phenomenal in it.
And this Blu-ray looks stunning as well.
Oh yeah, it looks really, really good. The score's really good. I was looking the day. The score's only been available on CD. It's something I would definitely purchase as a vinyl release, that's for sure. Send a maniac to catch a maniac. But this is a real build in this.
Yeah, well, I mean, that was kind of what they were all about, though, back then, wasn't it? It was like, instead of creating set pieces, it was taking real buildings and real scenes and that.
I mean, this is a real stunt as well. I mean, it would just all be CGI now. But even stuff, if you look in the background and all that, all the paintings, I mean, what a fall that is.
Kind of stunt, like.
It's got a very, you would probably have to look into this, but I hear a lot of Batman Forever, like music cues in this.
Right, I'm just thinking he looks incredibly like the character Barney from Expendables. I mean, this literally could be like an earlier stage version of his character.
Yeah, I mean, obviously we're doing this. I've been wanting to do this for a while actually, but the hype at the moment is Stallone has said he wants to do a sequel. And we've started talking about who's going to be his antagonist in it, and I still think it's The Rock. I think if they were going to do it big and bold, it should be The Rock and Stallone.
I mean, he definitely got to be on the list. I mean, you can look into what Jason Statham could go quite well if they want to go down that route. Although I do think that Statham had his kind of moment in Fast and the Furious as like the bad guy.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, it worked really well, but I don't know because I think it's a one note. I think if he did it in the new Demolition Man, he would be exactly the same. I don't think he would bring anything different to what he'd already done, so I don't think it'd be the best choice.
I mean, still, if you look at the newer generation, you're looking at Hemsworth, kind of speak, but like, you kind of like absorbed the characters in Expendables, so unless it was Schwarzenegger, but we've had Schwarzenegger and Stallone in Escape Plan. We're just looking for that who would be a great team up, because back in the day, I always said there's potential of a sequel because someone else just gets released. It's the easiest plot device. And back then I was thinking it should have been Van Damme, and eventually we got that with Expendables 2.
Yeah.
Now, there's a couple of things wrong on the upcoming scene. I mean, like Snipes has some great improv lines in this. His character's whacked. It'll get up your ass in gasoline. Is it cold in here or is it just me? But like he doesn't put up a very good fight in a minute. He sort of like he just gets pummelized, and then like there's no way, fucking shape or form, Stallone is getting out of that building with him on his back when it blows up.
Yeah, I mean the fact that like we can see like later on in the film how formidable Simon is. So you know it's like kind of whereas like now he's obviously you can see they're giving it a good run for money, but you know absolutely I think it comes off a little too easy.
Yeah, it's just, you know.
He's like the best, honestly, he's up there for me, and I'm talking like all time when it comes to like kind of bad guys.
I mean, what's his name is really good in New Jack City, and he's a very evil bad guy. See here, running, window, fire escape, boom. He's not getting out of there. And that is a real building. So the producer, like the funny thing is, when I was listening to the commentary, Joel Silver is the same producer as Lethal Weapon, and they piggybacked on the Lethal Weapon explosion when the building was getting demolished anyway, and they just used it as a backdrop. They actually had the full freedom to drop this building however they wanted it. And during the commentary, he just fucking leaves. He literally just leaves the commentary, and like it's like doing the whole Sam Jackson in Deep Blue Sea, where he's get, well, I'm dead now, there's no point me sitting around, and goes off to play golf.
Yeah.
No, that's Richard Donner's brother. As I say, that's Richard Donner's brother there.
Yeah.
There's a lot of famous people in this in earlier roles. Jack Black's going to pop up eventually. I tell you who I noticed was in it last night when I was watching it. Shredder's henchman.
Ah, yes. I think I was looking at the film the other day when you mentioned it. I noticed his name popped up. Aye.
I told you. He said he didn't care. And like, I mean, that's a massive intro because like we're about to get the bloody the credits coming now.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's what I loved about it. Like Warner Brothers, and then it's straight there. You know, it doesn't mess around. It doesn't do all this kind of slow introduction. It just gets straight into it.
And even
I think it works really well.
The nice score as well, like that as the names come across the screen.
Even this camera angle now, I think it's really quite different to what's out there at the moment in terms of this, like when this was released.
I think this is a really well made film. When you look at Stallone, you say Stallone to somebody, they're instantly going to say Rocky or the Rambo series. This is like, I think this had a brilliant chance to have some form of trilogy at least, but when you look at it as what it was, or how it was, and the time it was, it's just perfect.
Yeah. Question though, did it do well? That's the one thing I forgot to mention. I forgot to ask.
The director said that it did over budget. It wasn't a failure, but it wasn't a massive success. But
it's kind of expensive film, though, isn't it?
Oh, hugely expensive. There's a lot of sets. There was a lot of dealings with car companies where they would get the rights to put the cars in, but they would have to build cars and stuff. Bill Cobbs, he is also in New Jack City. He's the guy who shoots Wesley Snipes at the end of that.
Is that him, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot Jesse Ventura was in this.
So weird. I mean, Jesse Ventura, you know, like Predator, Running Man. I mean, this is like what, 3-4 years after Predator, and he's like he almost doesn't have a fucking role in it.
I think it kind of like snowballs with Predator. I remember when I mentioned to you a while ago, it was very much like, I think he got the buzz from Predator, but it was just as he was in between wrestling foundations. So Vince McMahon McMahon was trying to get him back to WWF as it was, and I think he was so excited to do more stuff that he got Running Man signed on paper before he sat down with Vince, just so that he could say, yes, I'm coming back to wrestling, but legally I'm signed to do this project. And I don't think he ever became the big actor that everyone thought he would be, given his stature. I just think he was having a lot of fun. And if you think of the films he did, he had a lot of fun with the films that he did.
I do miss him on commentary. He was, by the way, just passing there, one of them guards is fucking, what do you call him? Oh man, from Third Rock from the Sun. It just appeared.
All I can think of is Joe.
No, the one that he described as we had a spare seat.
Right.
He was in.
Aye,
Harry.
Yeah, Harry. Aye, that's right. Aye.
But now looking at that though, the way that the scientific about freezing them and making these massive cubes, and Stallone making sure he had a big penis when people were looking at it. But even making one of Wesley Snipes, which you only barely see in a minute, I mean, that's not expensive because that's a life cast. What we're looking at here is a model of Stallone.
Yeah, I don't know what I see now, but there was something. Did they use it for a film or something? I swear, I just recently, within the last month, I saw something where someone had the original mold.
I think there's quite a few of them. I think they were for sale. But I remember what you said this morning. Probably posted on the movie group. But
yeah, I just remember something very, very familiar of the actual. Yeah, I think someone posted a picture. It was it looks weird, but obviously, like you say, it's smart. Go with the mold. It's going to be a bit cheaper. I
mean, if they did it now, that's just smoke and mirrors effect. That if they're doing that now, it'd be a computer graphic.
Well, this is it. That's why I love practical effects, or at least trying to put something into it.
This is a great time because, Jurassic Park had happened, but still, you know what I mean. The CGI was still, in early development. They were creating dinosaurs, but they weren't exactly big on set expansions and stuff like that. This film uses a lot of matte paintings and stuff still, but I don't think you can beat a good set and good art direction of a film.
Yeah, well, listen, the matte painting you mentioned,
there's Snipes there. Snipes just gone past. It's seconds, but I don't know if you know this. Actually, cut you off. The guy reading the thing actually has a broken leg in this scene.
Right.
I learnt that from the commentary.
Alright. How did you know?
Well, Sandra Bullock.
Go for it.
I was going to say Sandra Bullock came in short notice. Original stuff was filmed with another actress. Yeah.
It was originally Laurie Petty.
Yeah.
I think of her from A League of Her Own. Well, I'm sure she's done a few more things than that. But she's an interesting actress. I know apparently she did do some filming for it.
Oh, she did, yeah.
I'd be interested to see what she brought to that role, because I think with her, she's very kind of tomboyish, but also there's a little bit of bite to her. Whereas I think with Sandra Bullock, she's a little softer. Even when she's in this film, she almost comes off a little bit like a rookie. As if she's sort of timid. The two girls are really different.
Well, Sandra Bullock, she'd been in a few films, but this was her breakout couple of years. She had this followed by Speed, and then stuff like While You Were Sleeping, and obviously rom-coms, and she's just made. But I think, to me personally, this is the nicest Sandra Bullock's looked in a movie.
Yeah.
Even look at the CGI here with the spray paint.
I'm going to say that's the future for you.
Yeah.
But what's that purpose? Why did someone build that there to spray paint? Or am I missing something there?
Just to sort of raise terror, but obviously they're obviously surveilling the food truck, aren't they? So.
Fair play.
Now this is one of Dennis Leary. This is Dennis Leary's second movie. Stand-up comedian, songwriter. Went on to have quite a successful career, but mainly known to be very rantish.
Right.
Have you ever heard the song he did, "I'm an Asshole"?
Yeah. Right.
Now, her office, I mean, to be honest with you, look, so there's Rob Schneider. He was on the rise. He'd just been in Home Alone 2.
Yes, that's right. Yeah.
Would have returned with Stallone and Judge Dredd, but obviously, he was, by the mid-90s, he was a massive, by going to the end of the 90s as well, he was a massive actor. Guy from Ace Ventura, he popped up in something recently we were watching. What was it? He's in Under Siege.
He's in Under Siege, yeah. I bet he's in a lot of stuff, though. He's got that face anyway. He just kind of pop up in everywhere.
Well, he's in Cuffs as well. Cuffs is one of my favourite films.
Which I've not seen, surprisingly.
Brilliant film. Only been on VHS so far.
Yeah. And that's signed by the man himself, yes?
Mr. Christian Slater.
Yeah. Now, we were saying before about Wesley Snipes, being as good as he is. Now, obviously, I know, in my opinion, that it was definitely the right way to go. But how do you think this film would have felt had they gone with the original idea of a villain, which was Jackie Chan?
Well, to be honest with you, Jackie Chan didn't really hit the big American market until Rush Hour.
Nah, that's it.
And Jackie Chan was, like, a huge sensation. But, like, until that Rush Hour came along and it was the right role, I mean, you had Rumble in the Bronx and all sorts. Now there's a little Joker figure behind him there. But no, I think Wesley Snipes is the main character for it.
Lethal Weapon poster in the back?
Again, though, it's really funny because that only came out that year.
Yeah.
It's like looking back now, oh yeah, Lethal Weapon 3, that was the same year though, wasn't it?
Yeah.
But she's got a little Joker figure, she's got Super Soakers on there, she's got see, she's got this wacky office. When you get to a house, it's a bit of a letdown because I was looking in the background going, oh, what you got there or that.
Yeah.
But it was funny because, when you think of Sandra Bullock, you think Sandra Bullock. You don't think that, like, she gets called Sandy.
Right.
So, Sandy Bullock.
Not Sandy, yeah.
This is all ad-libbed here with Snipes speaking in Spanish. He did it as like one of the takes, and the director liked it, so he just let him keep it.
I think that's what you get when you sign Wesley Snipes to a script, though. Having not met him, I could just totally imagine him like taking any role and then just making it Wesley Snipes. Like you can say he just has to read a script and he just automatically knows what the character would say or how he would say it.
I mean, he did held off for some more money to be in it, but like, I think he was perfect. Teddy bear. Yeah, I do. See, I think, don't disrespect to Danny Glover for the time, but he would have been great in Predator 2.
Yeah. I think with Danny Glover, though, the thing I like about it is that he was an everyday cop.
Yeah.
He wasn't athletic, there was nothing special about him. And I think that worked really well, whereas I feel like you could have gotten some awesome scenes with Wesley Snipes and the Predator, but then, it would have been a different film. I wouldn't think it wouldn't have been a worse or better film. I would have just thought it would have been a different one. But then, I mean, when you look at Snipes, I mean, he was so good at martial arts. Didn't they have to, like, slow him down or something like that?
Yeah.
Because it was that fast.
And this scene here was in and out, but as a kid, when you're seeing this and you're like, oh, he's got a fucking eyeball out. Yeah, you do. "187", I don't know what it is. Have you ever seen that movie 187 with Sam Jackson?
Yeah, aye.
It's another film that just hasn't really seen the light of day.
Well, this is it. It's just kind of nostalgic at this point. I think that's because you can't just go and get it these days.
Going on here though, all the computer screens, now it would be green screen and they would change it, but like these had been really well designed. Probably be like in the VCD era, isn't it? Like Mega Drive CD era.
Absolutely, yeah.
I mean,
always reminded me of a game called MDK. I never played it a lot, but it was like such a weird game. It was like so futuristic and just like this sort of quality graphics and that, and it was just like a weird game.
Look at the monotone delivery, punctured long, funny thing. It's just like no remorse. Do you want me to sign on a corner?
You get some awesome line. The old dude sitting down, he's got a face that seemed to be like.
That's Bill Cobbs. That's
is that Bill Cobbs?
Yeah, he's done a lot of stuff with Mario Van Peebles. He's one of the security guards in Night in the Museum.
That's that way I think of him. I've seen him his face recently. No, not that I've seen that recently, but he's got one of those faces like.
It's Phoenix. But obviously, like, he's the guy from the helicopter at the start.
Yeah.
Again, if they were doing that now, they would just pretty CGI him as a younger version. Oh, excuse me. The thing is, this movie is very fast paced. There's a lot to cover.
I've got to say, it's not slowing down anytime soon when you consider, like, from the start, it's literally just steamrolled. It's, and I'm trying to think of, is there going to be a point where it slows down? I think probably, like, the house scene when they go to her house, but other than that, I think they've got a really good pace going so far.
Yeah, I mean, it's when the director's talking about it, obviously we follow Sandra Bullock's character in this because she's grounded and hasn't like much to relate to us, like in this new world of no touch. And I mean, fucking hell, we're getting that way now, but like the swear boxes and shit, you know what I mean? More deaths.
No.
See, even that, like reading out the questions and her answers, carjacking, like lowjacking a car and stuff.
Well, it's I mean, even the fact that they're putting so much, like, kind of notice on the technology as well, like, they're not hiding from it. Like, they're owning that's what the tech is right now, and that's how they're doing it. I mean, like I say, this whole thing is based on this technology, whereas now I feel like it'll be more conversation between the people than the odd turn to the screen.
I'm sure isn't he the bad guy in Ace Ventura 2, the baldy Bob?
I don't know, he just has that, like, he looks like a bad guy, so I'm going to be inclined to agree with you, but I can't put my finger on it.
Now, this is all like on location. This I'm forgetting the area. They filmed it around the LA bit, but there's a lot of areas that just took that were quite modern and new and just took advantage of them. He's Casper in the box. Who inspires Joy feelings?
Now, it's interesting with Snipes' look, right, because I would have totally assumed that the whole hair colour would have been completely his idea, just to be wacky and be strange about it. But turns out Snipes actually hated it and, like, pretty much shaved his whole head to get rid of it, almost after, like, instantly after they stopped filming.
Well,
an interesting choice to go.
I mean, Snipes, I remember him being full bald in The Fan and stuff. But no, I mean, Snipes has took on some quite serious roles, though. He's been in some dramatic movies. He is branded as an action star, but like, again though, he's sort of, I mean, he was definitely made an example of with the whole tax thing.
Yes.
And like, but even like him having fun of it in the Expendables, him losing out to being the first Expendables, it's kind of like, again, we don't have that over here. We don't have to have an accountant and all that tax, because like when you talk to like the Americans and stuff like that, or you go there and it's like and tax and all this, and like we just don't have to deal with that over here.
Yeah. But you also talked about, like, I mean, how much money is coming his way. So much at this point, so, like, you're going to need someone. I mean, I'm certainly going to admit and say I could not handle, like, doing my own taxes in America if I've got this much money coming in left, right, and centre. So it only makes sense not only to have someone do that for you, but also probably put, like, I suppose you would have put a lot of trust into that person, thinking, don't worry, he knows what he's doing. And that's where a lot of those problems turn up. You know, it's still happening today. I mean, look at Jimmy Carr a couple of years ago. You know, obviously he evaded some taxes and stuff like that. Obviously not as big as Snipes, but the idea of it being that it generally wasn't, I just wanted to cheat out of money. It was purely out of just trusting somebody else. And yeah, don't worry, I'll sort it out for you. And yeah, it can get you in a hot water. Like.
I love that. He's talking to a handheld thing.
Yeah, how to arrest someone.
I mean, we've just missed one of the best things. The lines like, "What? Fuck you!" Honest to God, that is one of the funniest fucking lines when he gets to the first bill. He has responded with a remark. Add the words "or else." That look. I mean, again though, putting different contacts in every day.
Yeah.
Again, foreshadowed earlier on in the movie. Lucky number 7. Bzzzt. I like the score. I like the you know what I mean, the scratching effect in it.
Yeah.
We're police officers. We're not playing to handle this.
I think that's what I love about, like, the way Snipes behaves. Like, you can go from being like a hilarious, everyone's pal kind of funny comedic role, but then just like how he can just flip it and just turn into like the guy nobody wants to be in the room with.
Yeah. Now, this is the last scene of that day because it's now dusk. You can tell by the sun going down.
I would never have noticed that.
Oh, like that. I mean, that's the problem. Like, I mean, I don't mind doing podcasts where you get a DVD and there's fucking nothing on the disc and like there's nothing available, and like, you know, I don't do these to like show hate or any way, shape or form. I like just expressing. But like, if someone's actually got a commentary, I would like to like at least absorb it. So if you take the time out to actually listen to me, that I can actually like give you a little bit of fact as well.
Well, listen, I mean, you can watch a film 10 times over, but if you just hear someone else's opinion, like I say, not necessarily throwing shade or not necessarily praising the film, just saying, oh, when I saw this is what I thought of, and you can take a completely different take on the film straight away just from someone else's point of view. So I think it's totally invaluable, which I think was why every film should come with a director's commentary. So I feel like if you hear what a director really thinks about it, it can change. And it can give you a much more in-depth look at what's going on and what he was going for. There's
two types of there's a map in. Two types of comedy. I don't like commentaries that are recorded before a film comes out, when they just speculate. I like it when people revisit the commentaries, like John Carpenter and Kurt Russell, when they sit down and just watch these films and reminisce. Stuff like John McTiernan when he does Predator and he can't fucking remember making the film. They're interesting because you get a bit of an inside thing. Then you've got I don't know if you've ever heard the commentary for Blair Witch 2: Book of Shadows. Have you heard that?
I don't know. I haven't heard comment of that.
The director,
I didn't hear that film.
the director fucking hates that film, and you've got to think, did no one check that commentary track before they approved it? Because it's great because he shows you, like, he didn't add the music, he didn't want Marilyn Manson opening the movie, adding these things in, and all the weird messages, and it's a very interesting commentary because he doesn't like the film. He's ashamed of the film, and it's his own film.
Yeah. Now I see this guy and I instantly think of Beetlejuice.
That's it, yeah. I mean,
although he is another one he's been everywhere.
He has been in a few films, but yeah, you do think this and Beetlejuice.
Almost because it's like the same, not the same character, but he got the same, like, kind of, the same energy. That quirky, not all the kind of character.
Well, he plays it very camp, and in an era where, like in an era where the camp comedian hadn't really been established yet. It was still like, there's nothing wrong with someone being camp, but like you didn't really see it that much in Hollywood until like the mid-90s when they started doing stuff like Tofu for Thanks for Everything, whatever that film was called. Do you know what I mean? There was sort of like I don't know, like stuff when Birdcage comes along. It was you had that kind of camp era coming in, and he carries it really well.
I think it's how it was like you see it though, how it wasn't really established. So like the way people took it, like right now he's very camp, but it's almost like an alien type personality.
Yeah.
Whereas when you think of Birdcage, you think of camp and homosexual.
Yeah.
That's what it is. So I feel like with this, it was like before people got their hands on it, before people started labelling it what it was, and if you camped it meant that you were definitely gay, or it was seemed like it was a bad thing, and it was almost like a diss if someone was camp. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I feel like we're living now where in this film it was like, it's just such a. You're talking about a futuristic world. You're talking about something where, it's just a really weird character.
The Demolition Man. Now, Stallone's been out this movie for a while.
Yeah, that's it. When you consider it, we're just over half an hour. Yeah.
Fuck you, lady.
Now, what's he been in?
Benjamin Bratt. Benjamin Bratt. He's been in a lot. I think he had a big spike because I think he even gets the Anne character in River Wild, with that Meryl Streep movie.
Oh yeah.
So I think. He's been in a lot of movies. He definitely looks like he's definitely got some Indian descent, Native American.
Yeah.
But he's been in a lot. He's called Benjamin Bratt. Oh, look at the Red Hot Chili Peppers poster in the background.
I saw that before. I couldn't figure out what it was though.
Oh, dude, did you see the up close shot of that Joker figure? It was Jack Nicholson.
Was it?
Aye. Had his hat. Oh, it's gone. It's not going to come back. You'll have to go back to that one. Look at you. You'll be skipping forward because no one can see you what you're doing.
True.
John Spartan. Again though, they use this to do a really big thing, and it comes full circle because they use it in the end back. To me, that's smart filmmaking, of getting the most out of a location and your budget.
Yeah. Now Sly wasn't a fan of this scene, was he? I think he had a hard time with this scene.
Why? Oh, being naked.
But like it was kind of like I think it was being in that environment. Something about it being like really kind of. It was such a long time being in it. I don't know what they were in terms of liquid, but it was apparently it was. I remember him saying up to like 4 or 5 hours. He was like, just one of the worst experiences.
I'm sure it's a type of water with like bits of metallic in it, like metallic paper.
Yeah.
I mean, the end of the day, he's like, oh, lie there on the set, looking cold, or go back to First Blood and get blasted with that hose pipe. I mean, that shot's clearly done there for physique.
Oh, absolutely. He's done about 20 press-ups before that scene.
John Spartan. I just want them to do Expendables 4, get it over and done with. Done.
Yeah, what about the Expendables? Never heard about that one.
Aye, but they should have just brought them into the third one rather than the young. They should have just brought the female lot in.
Yeah, because they didn't say, but is there enough female, like, kind of number of actresses there? I mean, don't get me wrong, there's some pretty solid choices. But in terms of, like, what they're capable of doing now...
Well, that's it. They need the right director for it.
Yeah. I would say it would have to be a completely different type of film. I would say more like an espionage kind of film where, I mean, obviously I'm not going to say that women can't be physical, but, you know, when you look at Stallone, I mean, he's in his late 50s, he's still a beast of a man. Whereas when you think of someone like Sigourney Weaver, who is still good for her age, but, you know, in terms of, like, athleticism, I don't know how much you can, like, really get involved in it. So. Yeah,
the sort of... Some actors, I mean... You could say, for example, Demi Moore got an amazing shape for G.I. Joe. G.I. Jane, sorry. But, you know what I mean? She's obviously gotten that shape for the role. She's not known for being an action movie. It was that one-off kind of thing, wasn't it?
Well, listen, because you think of Demi Moore, I think of, you know, you've got G.I. Jane, you've got Striptease, but then for me it's always about Sit Almost Fire, which I don't know if you've seen that one. It's kind of like a...
Oh yeah, it's an old one. Amelia Westerveld.
I think those are the things that come to mind.
One Crazy Summer, man. One Crazy Summer.
Can't you have seen it?
Brilliant film. What the hell is that? Meh. Caveman. I mean, we're talking about slowing down. He just got out. Now he needs to adjust, and that's kind of like... I think that's why we get a roller coaster start, really.
Yeah.
I feel like a bad dream now. Let's go back in the ice cube, thank you.
Would you want to be frozen?
Frozen?
Aye.
Well, I don't think you would, like... I mean, say for example you got frozen for 20 years, you come back, probably 30% of your friends are still alive. And you miss everything. Yeah. But then, if you're a big film fan, you can just watch all the films. You don't have to wait for something to get made. But have you learnt your lesson? Do you know what I mean? I mean, the reason for freezing them is the fact, the free seashells.
3 seashells. Chopsticks.
But like they say, the reason they freeze them is you don't have to feed them or maintain them. But like, you're not exactly... I mean, you might as well...
punishment, is it?
Not really. You might as well bring back the execution. You know what I mean? It's just like...
It's not like you were sentenced to time. Sure, yes, a lot of years have gone past, but for him it would have just been like seconds.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, really, it's just a massive inconvenience. Here comes the reunion.
Now, in the original story... He's got a daughter that is now older than him, but they cut it from the movie. Yeah, she's actually what.
Quite a big couple, was it?
Well, that's it. That's kind of like where you would probably lead towards more of a thriller than an action movie. That kind of plot twist because he originally finds it underground as one of the scraps. I told you, man, you need to research your films.
I do, to a certain extent. See, now if I thought of that scene, like with the daughter, then I would have said that would have been better if you cut the scene short with him going to Sandra Bullock's house and then like having an instant reaction of what we're going to do now, well, I'm going to go and see my family. Because if you had a daughter, then surely that's the first thing you'll think of, wouldn't it?
Yeah, that's it.
With my family.
I mean,
I would have said that would have been a better scene rather than, you know, having kind of jokes with 3 seashells and shit like that.
Well, the thing is as well, that storyline was explored in Aliens with Sigourney Weaver when they used the picture of her mother when she's in that virtual reality thing. And it even got cut from the original cut. You only see that in the special edition.
Yeah. I mean, it works. I mean, didn't they do it in Interstellar? Didn't he come back and see his daughter like an old woman now?
That's been on my shelf to watch because I got it for £1 on Blu-ray and I haven't seen it.
Oh, really?
Every time I pick it up, it's like, oh my god, it's on for ages.
It's a long film. It's a good film, although it goes on my list of slightly overhyped films. I like Matthew McConaughey, but at the same time, I feel like he's a bit of hit and miss for me. I do think he's good, but I don't think he's as good as what like Hollywood make out to be.
This fucking guy walks and just smashes his head off the glass. What's your boggle? What's my boggle? There you go, realisation. There you go. I love that set. I love that bit.
I can say the whole set, the costume, it's such an interesting view of what futuristic is.
Again, they'll go back to Predator 2 and all this. This is another film that heavily inspired from the LA riots that had just happened. Like these pictures here, them pictures are actual pictures from the riots. And there was still like there's a few films like were inspired by it, but rather than like, oh my god, when that happened, it sort of just sets it in the future and looking it back. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's an amazing build on that.
I'm just looking. I can't get over how good this looks. I think I've maybe only watched this once on Blu-ray. It was a while ago, so I look at this now and I think it's done really well.
I'll drive. Calibrating new driver. This is like me today. I woke up and I was like, oh shit, I've got to sort my car insurance out. And like I got a new quote and it was £16 more a year. And I was like, what? So I rang them. I was like, come on. And then I had to fill in like all these forms like your car, your date of birth. You know, I just want to drive my car. But I just said to him, I was like, look, I'll meet you halfway. Like, you want to charge us an extra £16 a year, whatever it is, a month. And I was just like, I'll meet you halfway so I don't have to do anything else but go, right, my car insurance is sorted. And they agreed to it. I was like, well, there you go.
Right.
Because they were like...
That's our business. I always got wiggle room when it goes high or low. They just have to take it on whoever challenge them the most.
Well, they were like, well, it's just generating. I was like, look, mate, as I I think it was last year, it was just like, oh, it was an introductional cost price. And I was like, well, what about to keep us here? I mean, like, you know what I mean? I'd rather stay with a company, pay the same amount of money for the same car. I mean, fucking hell, you know fine well I haven't drove hardly this year, because I've obviously been in New Zealand.
Well, it is. That's what I'm thinking. If you haven't had like any major issues or any accidents or something like that, you'll either think it's the same, or...
This guy here, whack. Now, when he's kicking the glass here, that is some impressive height. See, I was been hoping as well that Wesley Snipes would return to the Undisputed series and take on Biker, but
Yeah.
that kick there, I mean, that's...
I mean, it's a good 6.5 foot, like, nearly. But how tall is he? Do we know?
He's got to be about 6 foot. What's my boggle?
Yeah, because
Now, do you know who... it's just a coincidence. I mean, Bruce Willis, Fifth Element, bleached blonde hair, right? Bright orange tank top. Like, that was... Is that the combo of the 90s?
It's the same world, isn't it? This could totally be connected to Fifth Element in terms of, you know, kind of like the futuristic element of it.
Fifth Element's fucking batshit crazy. The sound on this is amazing when he blows his glass out. It's fucking class, that sound. Absolutely brilliant. I love it how they're all coming around like working in the church. Hello there. And like he has, but he has no remorse there. He just takes 2 guys out with a shotgun right in the face, and it's like, how the fuck's this a 15?
Yeah, that was surprising actually when I noticed that this morning. I thought actually I would have thought it was easier. So
Yeah. Boom. Just no regret. I mean, it's always been a 15 because I've actually still got the VHS.
Yeah.
I actually have this on Laserdisc as well. What are you laughing at that I've got it on Laserdisc?
Yeah. Of course you have.
Yep, he spots it. That's fucking class, that. Excuse me, Rambo, I need to borrow this. The fucking baseball bat. I mean, is this not assault?
Well, you gotta save the pennies, haven't you? I mean, a simple prop, but it looks like it'll do the trick.
I mean, you can kind of see why people went, oh, who's going to play Judge Dredd? And I think they probably looked at this movie and went, you know, like, again, because Judge Dredd character, although he's channeling a lot of the comic books, you can just see John Spartan in that performance as well.
But this is it though, like, it's because it's so far invested in the comics, but it didn't stay true entirely. So I feel like it was always going to be a fall when you're not going to be 100% for the comics. Because again, it's not just Hollywood that you're dealing with. You're dealing with people who are like comic books that are religion to some people. Yeah. So as soon as I said that, well, you take the mask off and stuff like that, you're gonna get fire from every way forward.
Well, Schwarzenegger passed on it because he didn't want to take the helmet off, and then when Stallone was about to pass on it, they had to take the helmet off.
I was just saying before, you just can't see Jackie Chan doing any of this.
Well, the problem as well, Jackie Chan would have struggled with being a villain. He wouldn't have brought the comic side to it.
No. Well, he would have been a silent type, wouldn't he? Because even if you think about it, he was still not like, I mean, his English is better than my Chinese, but at the same time, his language was not like 100%. So I feel like all the quips and that just wouldn't have worked. I feel like it would have been a more silent character, and I feel like it would have been a lot more hand-to-hand. I kind of feel like Jackie Chan ended up with like shotguns and machine guns and that like that.
I mean, Jackie Chan is definitely someone I think who should be the bad guy in Expendables 4 if they decide to get it done.
Yeah.
It's great when they go down to this set here. But there's films of this era, like stuff like Toys, Super Mario Brothers, and all that, where, you know what I mean? They've made this like these futuristic worlds.
But listen, that's a toy set. That's like the whole aspect of that is just fun, colourful.
Here it goes. Oh hell. I love it how that was actually, it's an actual water fire hydrant. I mean, it's only meant to be a prop. Now this goes back to what we talked about at the start. He actually gets his ass whooped here, and he just doesn't understand how and why.
Yeah. So I mean, like I say, it just leads you to think: did he want to get caught at the beginning?
Yeah.
I mean, did he put it on the idea? He thinks, oh, well, if I get caught, I can still get all the hostages killed because they're just going to be focused on me. Look at that man whipping a TV around like that. Couldn't do that in this image.
Fucking hell. You couldn't even do that, like, with a flat screen telly.
Yeah.
He's got his super gun again.
Looks so good.
And he's off. I love the score. I was good at when it wasn't available, like on vinyl. I managed to get so I've managed to get the Mad Max one, the Thing one, and sure I got something else I'm waiting on coming.
So did just not release this one?
No, it's not been released before.
No.
I think the music's class on it. Like, I don't know why, like, he gets out there and just has to shoot straight away.
Yeah, it's kind of, it takes into the idea that he's not saying no, innit? Like, it's a logical choice. He could have easily, like, slipped away, would have been fine. But I think because he's so impulsive and so kind of out there that he didn't even think of it. He didn't even think of the consequences. He just does shit.
Don't you have someone to kill? I mean, that's the theory of this movie, though. Like, the Edgar Friendly guy is a menace. He runs the underground world that not a lot of the civilians know that's there, and this guy's just like, this guy needs to go, but you can't exactly go out and hire an assassin. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's what he's done, and he's you know, he's overcompensated. He's released this guy, and he's given him an upgrade, and you know what I mean. Now, it pops up in a lot of videos that in a lot of countries it's not Taco Bell, it's Pizza Hut, the franchise they use. Because he invites him to Taco Bell here, and Taco Bell's it's the only restaurant that survived the quake. That's why everywhere's Taco Bell. But
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of reviews or anyone who's done an in-depth analysis of it well, they're on about how it's Pizza Hut everywhere else, and the thing is, I've never seen it being Pizza Hut over here.
No, can't say I have.
Because I always wanted to know what Taco Bell was because of Demolition Man, and it wasn't until I was over in Spain a couple of years ago I got to try it, and I still don't understand why Taco Bell hasn't made the leap like to more mainstream England.
It's in Newcastle now.
Oh, is it?
It hasn't been there long, mind. I'm talking like probably about a year, if that.
Fucking hell.
Yeah, you know where Geek Retreat is.
Yeah.
So it's literally on that road there. So if you like, kind of, it's probably about 2 or 3 businesses up from Geek Retreat, I think. I've never been in, but I've only ever had it once, and it was when I was in Chicago. We literally only went to the airport because we were flying for America back home. And I just remember like saying I'm starving and that, and I thought, oh, iconic Taco Bell, you know, so it's quite nice. But yeah, I think there's only maybe 2 shops in America. In Newcastle, sorry.
Yeah. I look forward to it. See there, going back to the guy from Beetlejuice standing there in the background, he's standing there, he's out of focus, and like, that's your job for the day, standing there.
Aye.
It's hard to do. I've had to do it before. Like, just stand with your back and like, we'll get the scene filmed, and you're like, Howie man, get it fucking right.
Yeah. I was gonna say, I can definitely appreciate the challenge of it, like, because we do like a lot of photo shoots at work where we're told to be like behind the scene. But I think at one point a friend of mine got asked to like just stand. They didn't even want them to talk because it was a photograph and they just wanted stills. And they literally just said, "Can you just look into each other's eyes while I do the shot?" And I mean, they must have done it for like 4 minutes. And like, the mate was like, the hardest thing in the world is looking like a person, even if you know them, just standing looking deeply into their eyes for like a full solid 2-3 minutes. It's just like really difficult. And I was like, yeah, I can imagine, like. Extras, man, unsung heroes.
Likes you playing. Getting another nice matte painting there.
We were watching a documentary the other day, and it's absolutely stunning what they were doing for Mary Poppins when it came to the matte paintings and stuff like that. Say when you're just looking like the whole like city aspect of it. I mean, even now I look at it and think that's totally a real city, and it's just literally a painting with like a couple of smoke effects and a couple of lights.
Yeah, they did a lot with the original Batman and stuff as well, didn't they?
Yeah.
So there's a couple of little plot things here. See, again though, like there, he's been on the run. They've got ready to go out and all that, and now he's just found a fucking manhole cover. I mean, that just to me feels like it's in the wrong place.
Yeah, what's he been doing for the last few hours?
Taco Bell. Imagine that, all the restaurants are Taco Bell. I love it how he's got like a matador. Oh, the guy. He always reminded me of this fucking singing sword from Roger Rabbit. Have you listened to the Branching Out podcast 4 yet?
No, not yet.
So there's a bit where Cooper's on about we're in this restaurant and there's a guy singing on the piano. And Cooper Cooper brought it up. I wasn't going to bring it up, but Cooper actually ate a urinal cake in front of everybody in this restaurant, to that extent that the piano player stopped fucking playing.
But he deliberately.
What, ate the urinal cake?
Yeah.
Yeah, not like, oh, what's that in my dish? Now this little Asian lady behind this guy, she looks like she was in Beetlejuice.
I haven't seen her.
She was in there earlier on.
Yeah, it's one of those characters. Already,
There she is in the background.
Yeah, I wonder if it's just like they have the usual people that ask for like you're on screen enough, but you don't need to do anything. It's
like the other night, man, when I was watching California Man and Data from the Goonies turned up. I was like, oh my god.
I noticed she said that because funny when I was watching the Goonies Union, I know that's kind of like what everyone been up to and that, and he just kind of stuck to the Goonies and Indiana Jones, which of course are the two major things that he's done. But it seemed that he hadn't done much within the last few years.
To be honest with you, the last couple of years, if you're in something like the Goonies, you're going to make a living off doing the cons.
Well, listen, I mean, they weren't really, I mean, not like putting down, because some of them turned out to be massive, but like, they weren't really intentionally meant to be actors back in them days, were they? Like, they got these roles and they were doing all these little things, but a lot of them, who was it now? I was watching the other day, one of the kids from the Narnia films, you know, like, they were all like kind of deemed to be the next big things, and then now he's like a politician, you know, one of the kids. He just doesn't even act anymore. Or I was watching the Mighty Ducks a while ago, and like a lot of the actors there are all like everyday mundane jobs. It's strange how like you either make it massive or you just don't even do anything at all. You get like your one-hit wonders.
And normally when you get that one-hit wonder as well, you don't exactly get a really good contract for payment.
No,
you'll get no. You'll get no. Like back then, and we're talking in the 90s now. You'll get no royalties or anything. Even your likeness and all that, you would have got dipped in just because, like, oh, you're going to be in the movie. When this is what you got to do.
Yeah.
But now there's a lot of new laws and stuff like that, and people do get a lot more, like protection, royalties, likeness rights, game rights, voice, books. I mean, back then, if you think about a child actor, like the likeness and all that would have got dumbed up with a contract, and the next thing you know, there'll be a book out, and they'll get no money for that book.
Yeah, that's it.
So here comes the scraps in full circle. That's a lot of extras, that, man.
Yeah.
Now they've got the first look at Jack Black coming up.
See, now I can't remember him in this. I know you mentioned it before.
Oh, it's obvious when you see him.
Yeah.
Still got to have them cheesy liners.
There's always that one in the ragtag in it, the martial art experts who can't really do anything.
No, I don't think Jack Black's appeared yet. I'll let you know when he appears.
Yeah, I'm going to say I have no doubt I'll probably spot him straight away. But I think going back, I think obviously nobody would have ever pointed him out as Jack Black back in them days. And
you're a fucking hero. I think that was him just running past, actually. Don't worry, he comes back. Scrapping for food, man. Scraps. So, although he is a very established English actor, if you asked me to name a film, The Madness of King George, that's the only film I know him from because he's so iconic on the front cover running through the halls.
yeah. Trying to think if I know him from anything else. And let's say he's got that.
Wild West wasn't even the Wild West. Sometimes it is. Again, though, it's great that, I mean, it's an underground story that he's come out and he sees that something's not right. Everything's different, but there's still the greediness of a human soul can still be seen a mile away from somebody, an outsider.
Yeah.
Oh, is this where she tries to have sex with him?
Does she not succeed?
Well, see, when I was looking into the research of this, so basically what they did was Sandra Bullock got a paid weekend to go up to somewhere, stand in a room, covered in smoke, strobe lights, you know, hotel paid for, all that kinds of stuff, and just make sexy noises and then to cut hardly in the movie. But if you think about that, that was a whole weekend, and you barely see it less than a minute in the movie.
Yeah.
But I don't think she's ever done a sex scene, not that I'm aware of, anyway.
No, I can't say. I mean, even when I think of her films, I think of like obviously Miss Congeniality comes to mind, Speed, the one she did with that Melissa McCarthy, Heat, stuff
Lake,
like that. But they're all, none of them seem to fall into that kind of level of film that would kind of showcase the sex scene.
she doesn't really do any hard 18 movies, does she?
No, that's what I was saying earlier. I feel like she's got such an innocent look to her. I mean, beautiful woman, but like I say, it doesn't really they're not showcasing it as the attractive role. Like when you think of like Under Siege and that, obviously the second one you've got the barmaid, and then you've got the girl jumping out of the cake, and the first one, you can tell they've kind of been cast to be like beautiful women.
Mm.
But they're not really expected to do much other than like run around and just make the odd quip. Whereas I think with Sandra Bullock is that she's a good actress, but like I say, she certainly has that typecast.
Now, in this set here, the fire had to have the air conditioning off for sound, but the fire, you see how much smoke's coming off the fire?
I could say that because as someone who works for fire a lot, I can see how dirty the back is as well, so that's been on for a while. I can imagine it being quite warm in there.
Well, that was it. Illuminate, deluminate. There was a lot of inspiration from French movies as well, especially making that futuristic look of like space and quirky shapes and stuff, colour tones and stuff as well. But even look at these ghetto, I mean, look at that. Tyres.
There literally is just tyres in it.
He'd make a great pop vinyl.
Wouldn't be surprised if there's not already one out there.
I don't think there is, eh?
Imagine if it did, it would be like Dungarees, Simon.
Oh, give him grief. You're becoming more trouble than you're worth.
Well, that's it. You underestimate the wild card.
Now, there's a video game for this. Did you ever play it?
I've seen it, but I've never played it myself.
Just in the days of getting like Games Master magazines and seeing stills of it, because like they recorded a lot of stuff for it, but I think it was for the VCD, wasn't it?
Yeah, well, it would have been that time, wouldn't it? Aye.
I'm just going to stick my head out the window because someone's mowing the lawn in the street.
Yeah.
I want to know who later on I can poke with tongue at him.
There's actually some pretty interesting figures
What's
I'm looking at the moment. Of Simon, like a full-on Demolition Man collection.
Who? Demolition Man? What?
I was just looking at the full-on figure collection for Demolition Man. I was just looking at pop vinyls, and there doesn't seem to be one, but there's some pretty interesting 80s action figures.
Oh, cool. See, her apartment's disappointing because you look at her office and she's got that film memorabilia, and she gets here and she's got JFK in the background, she's got a rocket bubble machine, but like the nostalgia stops at you know what I mean?
Yeah, because you expect it to be a little bit more Tom Hanks' big apartment, where it's just like toys and all sorts of like kind of definitely nudges towards the era.
And here comes the thing, the machine.
Oh, he's getting excited, like.
Oh yeah. I love sunken floors and that, but like, I would probably fall in them buggers.
It's interesting how a lot of people, despite like whatever like day and age the film or TV is made into, why futuristic always seem to go towards Japanese culture or Chinese culture. One of the things that always surprised me is, I don't know if you've ever seen it, Firefly.
Oh, no, I've never seen. I've seen the film, but
obviously the infamous TV series that got cancelled, and that's all about like kind of space cowboy, futuristic, and they basically tell you that obviously China took over the world at one point, and everything's based on that. It's interesting because they're so far apart, but everyone seems to have the same idea. So he's a bit nervous now.
But as I say, the scenes you see cutting in are scenes she was filmed when she was up at this spa resort. Huh? I think with Stallone, I mean, he's a brilliant screenwriter, he's a great director, he's a good actor, but obviously he is a bit of a chameleon, isn't he? But like some stuff like this, you're like, I think it's down to editing that.
Yes. But this is it though, this is my take on it. I personally think that, especially now, in this kind of, when this film was made, and a lot of Stallone stuff, he's not a great actor, but he's got like kind of, he's got a spirit, I think, that allows him to throw himself into a role and just kind of make you believe the character. When you think about it, I mean, you're talking about a bloke who has very little acting experience, really, as a younger person. He's got a massive lisp. You know, he's kind of like, he's tailor-made for certain things, and I feel like he's one of the more successful people in Hollywood for me because of that. Because of the fact that, like I say, he could have sold Rocky when the bloke was sitting in the farm and had not a penny with him, and they were asking for like a ridiculous price for Rocky, and he kept on saying no because they basically wanted like someone like Burt Reynolds to play it, and he was like, no, this is me, this is my role. I feel like even now when you look at the new Rambo film, you know, like the newer one, it's not, it's an alright Rambo film, but it's not a hugely successful one, but you believe it because he's Rambo.
Yeah.
I think because he gets to write himself the way he wants to write himself, is that you believe whatever character he's playing. Even in Creed, apparently every scene that Rocky was in was written by Stallone. He let someone else write the whole thing, but he just said there's something that people don't quite get for him. Like when he comes to write for himself, he knows exactly how he's supposed to sound or look, where he says a lot of people don't get that with him. So I think like when you consider it, he's probably one of the smartest people in Hollywood to date, you know. And I was talking about him a while ago with you and saying like he's just such a fascinating talker, you know. Like when you say what he's saying about like how he developed Rocky and how he was playing the idea of Rocky Balboa, and like every studio was laughing at him, saying there's no way that's going to work. You know, he kind of persevered, and that's why I think, you know, you've got all these massively successful actors, and he impresses me more than most.
Yeah.
And of course, he just fell into the floor, just like you said you would.
Well, I think what's really interesting in a second is when he gets the wrong number, and it's sort of like this, like it's what we where's the free shisha? Free shishas. It's kind of like the kind of message you would get now if someone rang you on WhatsApp and you, oh shit, wrong one, sorry. You know, Paul Race sitting in the shower dangling his junk out trying to phone somebody, and you're like, oh, hang on, what?
Fair enough, like.
But again, it's the whole vertical screen. But here's something though I don't agree with, and a lot of films do it. So here is a mini it's like a mini disc. And I think we'll get the nude woman first. We'll get the nude one and I'll explain what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
There's no way that ball of string's going to make the sweater he makes the next day. So here we go. Naked woman. Right. When he's watching the surveillance footage here, be well. It's just the movie replayed. Like, if it just stayed with the CCTV, but this is the actual fucking movie we just watched. The cuts.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, it's exactly...
Well, this is it. I mean, that's what I think with...
That shot there particularly, like, no way. But there's no way, in fuck's sake, that ball of string he's wrapping around his arm, right? Now, if you look, it's the next day, it's panning down. Look, he's made that sweater from that ball of string. No fucking way. Have you seen some of the undertuck in the middle of it?
How do you know about knitting? Have you got a secret hobby?
No, and my mum can knit amazing stuff. And I've seen my mum knit a jumper for weeks.
This is the future, man. But no, that's what I was saying. It just, you can appreciate it just for the detail. When if you look at, I think it was Paul Ray who actually told me, if you look at the Ghostbusters Afterlife trailer, when they're looking at the footage of Ghostbusters back in the 80s on YouTube or on the news or something like that, they're actually using different angle shots from the film. So although it is actually showing you the film, they're showing you from a different angle, which is like really interesting.
Yeah.
Like, they could have done exactly the same thing. They could have replayed the same shot that they did. They could have just had a camera taken from a different angle, just so you know you're getting like something slightly different.
I mean, you got to look at the scene here. You got one in her, one in him, one aside, and then you've got a side shot, and you've got to think of how many different takes. Again, though, it all depends on how it comes out in the edit.
True. Yeah.
So he's the realization of like how he's now can knit everything. And Simon Phoenix, he knows he got beat because obviously what we've talked about there, he whips Simon Phoenix really quickly at the start, and then when he's come back and had that fight underneath, has that. Now Tatsu, whatever you want to call him from Turtles, had just appeared on them flip screens.
I just noticed him. Yeah. Tatsu. Very nice curry.
Is that not his name?
Yeah, it is. I'm just saying that's what when you think of Katsu, you think of the curry.
So again, he's been programmed to fucking absolute distraught. Just thinking of all the backplates, like they must have had to like just take a car out on the road, and like that's why it's blurry. I think because obviously the car behind will be a futuristic car, but you imagine trying to get all the futuristic cars going back on the other side of the road.
Nah, it's clever. Like, or you could just go back to what they did on Blackbeard's Ghost and just have straightforward green screen behind them.
Blue screen.
Blue screen. Apologies.
See, again though, this bit here, it's just weird because like, where's he hiding? Like, if you like, he's just in the other room talking, and you think, of course you're going to hear it.
Yeah.
Again though, like the ability to get a telly into that screen, do you know what I mean? I mean, they've hit it well, but again, it's kind of like, I think everyone dreamed then that we wanted flat screen tellies in some form.
Yeah. But it's that classic mistake there of like, obviously you shoot the screen to the left. Why is the person on the screen looking to the left? It wouldn't make perspective, it wouldn't make any difference. Oh.
And this, just that, I mean, it's like, well, what? But it's not like he's hiding, do you know what I mean, in a corner of a cupboard.
Yeah. But he's got street smart, Stephen. The thing is, these people in the future, she would never have thought that. She would have thought he was in the screen. they're not exactly very, let's say, savvy in this futuristic world.
Going back to Dark Shadows, reveal yourself when he pulls the back of the telly off. It's fucking brilliant. That's the best bit of that movie. Reveal yourself. Laying down the fucking law on him. Be well, be fucked. And then the guy just faints.
That's his stunt bump there. Got a torch.
I tell you what, kid had dropped by yesterday just to see us. And he's going, oh, look at your car. And he came up to have a look at the car and the Mini and all that. And then he's like, oh, there's something not right there. I was like, what are you talking about? And he started, next thing you know, he's fucking jumping on my front wheel. I was like, will you get off my car, please?
Sound very much like Kidder. Where's he working now?
Oh, I didn't get that much conversation, really. He was just passing by, really.
I used to see him regularly, commute the subway at East Stanley. So the pal used to go there on a morning, he used to give lift to work. He used to always be in there, but obviously they've closed that down completely now. It's like Morrison now.
So I think like we're going into the final act of the movie in a way. Once we get down to the sewers, it's really fast track to the end, I think.
Yeah. When you think at the time as well, Dennis Leary's been pretty much, I wouldn't say underused in this, but for the name Dennis Leary, I mean, it's not exactly a massive blockbuster, but you would be paying for his name if you want him in this film right now. So the fact that he's been in what, like less than a minute?
Aye, but this was only his.
But
this was only his second film. This though.
Is that right? I thought this might be in fourth or fifth by now.
No, I think it's, I mean, he was doing well as a stand-up, and he was casting with, he was a recast as well. I don't know who originally was meant to play him, like, but he was a recast.
Alright. Do you think they could have used more of the underground stuff? I mean, I know we're saying it now, but I mean, like I say, we're pretty much into the final act now.
I mean,
I feel like it's such a big part of the world that we're in, and that we're only just touching on it now. I guess it works, but I would have been interested for a little bit more.
I mean, this just feels, I mean, it totally feels like Super Mario Brothers, Highlander 2, just that the set, the idea of like mass fallout in the future.
Yeah. Oh, this is exactly where I'd end up.
While eating a fucking rat
That's what
burger.
happened.
Just don't ask where the meat comes from.
Fucking hell, Americans love burgers, like, don't they?
The thing is, America's got it down with burgers. I mean, saying that, I mean, I got a burger in New Zealand, and it's just like, to me, if I go somewhere and want a burger, I want it that size. I want that much effort. Like, I don't want, you know what I mean? Even when you're in, like, say for example, you ask for a Hawaiian burger over here, and you just get a flat ass bun, like chopped up fucking pineapple, and that's it. And you think, well, what the fuck's this?
Yeah. I'll tell you what, I've only had one, and I will say it's a very nice burger, but I would never go back. It's Five Guys.
Oh.
They do, obviously, like I say, it's an American company. They do a really good burger, but I swear to God, you got to take out a mortgage just to bloody get a meal. It's just so highly priced, and I mean, don't get me wrong, I know they're probably using nicer meat, but it's certainly not like, I mean, like I say, we're going for size. If I go to any pub and get like a pretty decent burger for a fraction of the price.
Me
loves it.
Me and Britt went to Five Guys, and oh, I've never been here. I'll just have a bag of chips and all that, and a cheesy toasted sandwich, and it came to 28 quid. And like,
Yeah.
I was just saying, I was talking to Brittany the other day, because obviously we're not at work at the moment, and we're not going out spending a ridiculous amount of money on takeaway food. And
Yeah.
but 28 quid on your dinner, do you know what I mean? For 2 meals for 2 people. It's just fucking retardedness, like.
It's over the top, man. Like I say, I think I've only been in one that my pal loves it. He swears by it. And I remember looking at it and thinking, I'll go for like the cheeseburger thing. And it was like 6 quid or something like that. And I was like, I would like chips for that. And I was like, what? Do I not get chips with it? Like, and
So here's Jack Black.
I was like, oh, where's it going to
Wait, the cuts the side. So he's on the right to Dennis Leary. He's behind Dennis Leary there. He's got the gun to Stallone's face, but he's not on screen. That's not him. He's definitely there. He's that other hand. You see that other hand behind Dennis Leary?
I'm going to say, I know which hand you're talking about. I'm just waiting for the camera to... It's going to flick on him, and it's just going to be... Oh, there it goes.
There he is.
If that is, I mean, we must be a second. I must be like 2 seconds ahead of you. Because if that's it, that's like the fastest cameo. Well, it wouldn't have been a cameo back in them days, but...
Yeah, you see him again. It's more when you get like the wide shot there. He's just to behind his shoulder.
Just a shoulder, yeah. I think we might be about 3 seconds. I might be 3 seconds ahead of you.
But see, this is part of Dennis Leary's talent ranting, which again it works. But if you were trying to script that and trying to do a repeat performance during the take, it would probably be fucking a nightmare because he would just go on and on and on.
Yeah, because as a comedian, he's going to have that kind of rapport. But absolutely, if you get like a really good scene, think that's perfect, but can the next person behind you stand 2 centimetres to the left, you're never going to get the same performance again.
No. There's Jack Black. There he is. Gone.
Yep. See now, that was probably the longest scene we've seen him.
I mean, he was in Waterworld for years and I didn't even realise he's the pilot.
Yeah, because that's something I only discovered like watching it, but again, like I say, that's
so there's Tatsu on the far left, and we're about to see Jesse Ventura.
There he is, yep. She's stroking his head.
It's a fucking weird... I would understand if he came in like a strong henchman or anything like that, but I don't even think he gets killed off or anything. I think he just has a shootout and that's it.
He's just a member of the gang, isn't he? Like I say, just a body.
Well, the guy standing, sitting to the left of him, I'm sure he's one of the Universal Soldiers as well in the original movie.
Right.
Aye, but they definitely need to bring Tatsu out as one of them figures we've been collecting, their Nectar figures. They should have brought him out rather than... I'm just saying they should have brought him out rather than 2 foot soldiers.
Well, I would have thought like you would have had like him as a third. You know, I would have thought it would have been like 2 foot soldiers, and then they would have brought him out as well. But even like the next line, I mean, the way they're marketing it, that Raphael in the dust coat and Casey Jones is going to come out with a 2-pack. And then the Super Shredder that's going to be slightly bigger, so he's going to be a standalone. So I reckon there's definitely got to be an April O'Neil coming out. So I reckon he might come with her. Because there's a talk on coming out.
Stallone always finds himself out of like the underdog and everything, isn't he?
Oh, absolutely.
A Tattoo just stand in the background. I am the henchman of the Turtles. Because like he would have done the 2 Turtles movies when this was done.
Well, in all fairness, I mean, he trained elephant soldiers. As far as I'm concerned, Shredder did diddly squat.
I just love the music, like.
It's really timeless, like, I reckon. Even that stunt there.
Or twisting off the bridge, class.
Nah.
It's always look at that. The best backhand in film is the Predator. In Predator, when he fucking backhands fucking Schwarzenegger, and it's just like massive reach, just like hold B down to charge, and then it's just like whoosh. Fucking Schwarzenegger against fucking flying. And it's the best backhand in film.
No, I'll have to look that up. I don't know. Picture that.
I was saying before, like we're a little bit more behind than going into the third act. That's the smartest thing ever to do in a movie. Put your hand up, rather than when you see people pop the head up and there's a car coming. Now the thing is, I don't even realise that his contacts are the wrong way around when he comes out.
He looked different. I don't know what it was. Is that what it was?
Yeah.
Oldsmobile.
I mean, I would have had the car a little bit more damaged. Just to be sitting down there preserved.
A couple of scratches and dents would have made it a little bit more rustic. I mean, look at that game jump.
Now this looks like the same tunnel from Daylight.
Probably is.
The fucking sound effects for the guns are class in this.
Really nice and crisp, isn't it?
Auto inflate.
No, that's the future.
I've read all about this, fucking hell.
Well, I know I might have ranted at you before about this, but I'm going to have to dip out. I'm going to go to the toilet, so I'll be 2 seconds.
Okie dokie. So, Carl's going to probably listen back to this review and realise I'm going to tell you that Carl's went for a poo. So it's a big chase scene, actually. I mean, that's definitely not Stallone jumping on there, but you've got to forgive it. Gun flies down. Fucking hell. Burn a bit from Scarface there as well. I mean, it's not a very strong door to be just pull off like that. It's a hell of a fall out of the car when they go. Look at me, look at that. I mean, it's fucking class stunt work, that. Confessions that he's the murderer.
And a back.
Hello.
Just in time for a nice stunt.
It is, yeah. It's a hard fall, like. But he's padded though. I mean, it's great costume because he's got that. He'll have enough padding around his neck and stuff like that. So.
Yeah. You think we're going back to the era of a lot of actors wanting to do their own stunts these days now as well, aren't we? I mean, I know they're still quite strict. I do see a lot of people saying, no, I really want to do this myself.
I don't know. I think it just depends on like what kind of actor is now, because I think with some people, there's so much money thrown at people. You see the velocity of that car hitting that set there, the camera moved.
Yeah.
So, if like, say for example, I'm not saying Zac Efron's like this, but I'm saying if you're like Zac Efron and you come off like a big hit, and you get big pig checks and you deliver, you know what I mean, and you turn up to a movie, and if you don't have to do something, you're not going to fucking do it. Do you know what I mean? It's like, so, a lot of the times now, the problem is, people will get an actor, but they'll only have them for 3 to 4 weeks, and that's it. They're not coming back. So the entire film's made around that. And a lot of scenes, I mean, I think Wesley Snipes in Blade 3, there's a lot of controversy about every time it's a stand-in, and he's not in the shot, it's not him.
Yeah.
But again, I mean, I've seen it with actors where they're like, you don't need me there, and they'll question it, and you go, well, by the time you get lightning, especially if they come from a big movie to a low budget in Europe, and they'll be like, well, you don't need us for this bit. I'll come in at such in time, and like, they'll not go like, I'll just get me stunt double to do it. I'm not doing that. Do you know what I mean? And it's kind of like, but like, if they don't want to do it, then you've got to assess how you're going to do it as a stunt performance, not to show the face. And
well,
again,
it's a lot of effort, but the money makes sense as well, doesn't it?
But yeah, some actors are just too clued on, but then some actors are like, they'll turn up and like, I mean, I've just watched the audio comedy this morning for Without a Paddle, and like all the actors come back and they sit down for a podcast commentary track on video, and you can like, you listen to them, and like, I never realised it was all filmed in New Zealand, when of course it's all set in Middle America. But they're on about how they got to New Zealand, they all got along that well that they all rented a house together, lived together, and had a great blast. And the audio comedy cuts out a few times where you case that someone's went off and had a good rant and dropped some F-bombs or whatever, but like, you get actors like that who are going, right, if I can do it, I'm going to do it. But then some actors will go, right, you're not allowed to do that because you've obviously, if you get hurt on this movie and you're not able to be in the next movie, that movie sues that movie. They just be creating a clusterfuck. So,
well, that's it. I mean, like I say, you always have to take into account that if it goes wrong, and it's not just on a well-being level. I mean, if you look at, I'm always going to forget his name, but from Maze Runner, there was a Toby or
the actor,
something like that. Yeah, and he did a train stunt, and he got quite seriously injured. But I say that put like the production back months and months and months, and you think of the cost on that would have been astronomical. But then obviously the more well-known actors such as Tom Cruise, when he did the last Mission Impossible, he broke his ankle and stuff like that. So I think they got around that quite well though. When it came down to like how like they just went off to shoot other parts of the film. But it's still such a gamble, I suppose.
Well, that's it. Anything can happen. I mean, again, there's a lot going on. You've got coordination, timing, for your human body. You know what I mean? It's like, for years I've like filmed loads of stuff, and you think, fuck me, that must have knocked. And then you see your friend just try to kick a box along the floor to you and breaks his foot, and you think, the fuck? How did that happen? So this is definitely the final bit of the movie.
Yes.
They're coming in. Sandra Bullock, again though, she wanted a bit more physical combat, so they sort of give her this, she trained for this. And they use the idea that, you know, that the fact that she's probably studied it with being a fan of martial arts and stuff in the 21st century.
Yeah.
And she just absolutely lays it down here.
Oh man, she's doing it well.
That guy, Stallone's uppercut, is definitely the one of the soldiers from Universal Soldiers.
Mm.
Fucking get down there.
So that's when I chuckle at myself when I say stuff like that, because I mean, when you look at the shot there, that's a long hallway. That how the fuck did he get that close to Stallone without him turned around?
Well, that's the one he's just uppercut. Or did the other guy go off the side?
Yeah.
I love the sound effect. I can't believe my neighbour's still cutting their fucking garden.
I can't believe that bloke completely burnt away in that time. Yeah, that's a canny fire, like.
Didn't he not shoot all them screens out?
He did.
So there's 80 people still in cryo from that era. So, you know what I mean? He's got 80 reasons to make a sequel.
Well, this is what I was thinking later on when you mentioned it a few days ago. I thought at the end of the day, there's no way, like, I wouldn't have been able to tell you 80, but there's no way that they only ever just throws them two. So there can easily be another bad guy that was caught who also got froze. The only difference is it's going to be down to the idea of, I mean, how they're going to explain, obviously, how old Stallone is now. So,
I mean,
there's going to have to be someone quite young, if that makes sense.
I mean, how funny was it the other day when we were, I sent you that screenshot, and they've like, so if anyone's got Demolition Man in the Stallone box set on Blu-ray in the UK, where you get Assassins, Tango and Cash, The Specialist, and Cobra, on the menu screen, if you look at Man, above Wesley Snipes' head, the word Rock is written in it.
It's weird, it is, it's there.
It's there, see?
It's just like what, I mean, you can't accidentally, you know, kind of conjure the word rock. But then you think, what on earth, yeah.
I love that key.
So,
That's it, that key.
Two progs. But you've had a way of finding things hidden in messages, haven't you? You know, you've got like the rock there, then there's emo girl.
Aye. Fucking that Rocky picture still haunts me.
Like I said, it's fucking ruined that bloody picture for us. Everything I say is like emo girl.
Thing is about that Rocky picture in my room, when I first moved into this room, it used to be just stacked up and like, and I was like, where's it gone again? And like, to see where it is now, it's just perfectly merged into the wall.
Now, I don't know if you're going to the shot at this, but where Stallone's shooting towards, I've got upstairs now, there was a body in a cryogenic pod that was a weird position. I mean, it was kind of like, if you imagine someone on the knees, but then rotate them round on the back, so like, I don't know, it just looked like a weird sex position.
I can't believe Stallone's stupid enough not to see that coming.
Well, he's brawn and he's not smart.
I mean, it's quite a, almost like a quick ending here, though.
It wraps up really kind of like quite quickly and neatly, didn't it? It didn't like draw it out.
I love the score, man. The score is class.
Yeah.
Have you seen New Jack City?
Years ago.
It's definitely one to pick up on Blu-ray, like.
Yeah. Did it have Chris Rock in it? Not Chris Rock.
Aye, Chris Rock's in it, aye.
Chris Rock's in it, aye. Aye.
Again, I wonder if Wesley Snipes was ever considered for a Batman baddie, because this is a Warner Brothers movie after all.
Yeah. Question would be like who though?
Well, he could have been
Yeah,
Two-Faced. Could have been Two-Faced if Two-Faced had still been black in the franchise. I mean,
Well, you know, I was literally just about to say I don't know many DC black characters off the top of my head, but then that's never really mattered to anyone really when it comes to
no,
the
no.
films. They didn't really stick to the detail, which I feel is where you're in a rock and a hard place these days when it comes to movies, especially like Marvel or DC. If you don't do it, you know, colour for colour, tone for tone, as the comic book one did it, you just get so much heat.
I mean, that's it. If you look at Daredevil, when they cast Michael Duncan Clark, I mean, like, Michael Duncan Clark wasn't as big as he's meant to be in Green Mile, but, like, you cast him as Kingpin, and obviously Kingpin's notoriously being white. I mean, who are you going to cast?
Yeah.
The only person you could cast at that time would probably be Butterbean.
True. But, like I say, I mean, Harvey Dent was black in the first Batman film, so he wasn't really a character though. I think he was like a behind the, like an extra.
He was in the he was in the second one as well.
Yeah, true. He was when they just didn't see a shining light on him. I don't know if they ever intentionally wanted to do something with that character. You know, being such a big character and having him in two films where he didn't really stand out.
Good memory. It was only like last week or something, wasn't it?
So this is why I appreciate this, because it's really well done. The choreography is really well done, but then, like I say, if you just consider, they still hold, like I say, Stallone and Van Damme still do very much a scene like this really well in the first Expendables. And you consider, like, they're still going at it at this day and age, just shows you how good they are when it comes to physical work.
Yeah. I don't know what that random scream was there.
Well, it's karate, isn't it? It's all about the language. Oh, don't think you needed to fall for that storm.
Oosh. I mean, it looks menacing as fuck, Wesley Snipes here.
That's what I mean earlier on. Like I say, he's so funny and so good at what he does, but when he wants to flip it, Jesus, you just do not want to mess with him. Like,
Slow motion. I mean, what happens if that didn't break? I mean,
would have been very. That like it's quite an adventurous thought process, that, isn't it?
oh, I mean,
to think that scene out, you know.
I mean, at the end of the day, to kill. I mean, even that there, the prosthetic and that, to make his head smash like that, and it's just class.
Yeah. And just like that, he's done.
I tell you, I watched the 3 Iron Man movies and the 4 movies actually while we've been in lockdown, because I've been sitting in the back. But I watched Iron Man. I watched Iron Man 3 on my birthday, because I actually seen it, the pictures on my birthday, and
cool.
I watched it back. And the bit where there he goes running away from a fucking explosion again, just in time. Like, I felt more for his robot arm friend when he goes over the side than I did for Tony Stark dying in Expendables. And like, I was watching it, I was like, oh, like, it's such a good character, and I was so happy at the end when he's actually took time out to dig him out the ocean.
Yeah.
Just reminding us there of that robotic arm going around.
Now, the thing is, though, the explosion at the beginning of the film, because it's a real one, is done so well, whereas if you compare that to the explosion that we've just seen, didn't quite go well, did it?
No.
You know, you consider, you wouldn't have thought those were two. If you cut those two scenes and played them with someone, you're never going to get someone go, oh, it's the same film.
Yeah, I mean, didn't have to have an explosion, really. I mean, that's
Nah, that's where it kind of comes down with, isn't it? Where it's like, you've got to be smart. Like, did you really need an explosion? Yes, it's dramatic, but to the cost of doing that CGI explosion, not necessary.
Let's talk about the hair. Oh, excuse me.
Now, it'll be interesting in the sequel to see how he merged, because, you know, like, he's just one man, and the world, the law enforcement, everything about that world there is so alien to him that even if he got used to it, it would just totally, I don't know, it would just kind of cramp him down. He couldn't be the awesome cop that he is in that world.
See, the thing is as well about the sequel, Sandra Bullock. I mean, she's got to come back.
Well, you would think it would be a no-brainer. I'd imagine, based on what I've seen in Stallone's interviews and stuff like that, he has to have made that phone call before that announcement was made. He must have like reached out to her and said, "Oh, by the way, out of chance, do you reckon you might want to reprise the role?" And I could totally see her saying yes as well, though. I mean, it's like, in a nice way. She's not necessarily like kind of stocked up with work. But I could totally see her being a nice person to go, "Oh, I'd love to do you like," because it almost feels like a favour, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
It should be like, "Oh yeah, I'll do you that favour," because it'd be like not much demand to come back to a role like that, other than just, you know, why not have a play around one more time.
Jesse Ventura is the last cast member on it. Fucking hell. So like, I mean,
don't just capitalise on his name, though, innit?
Aye.
You know, he's not a massive name, but you know, like, even then, you saw Jesse Ventura's name. It's almost worth just sticking on the poster, like not on the poster, but on the credit itself, to say that Jesse Ventura, because you got to mention at the beginning, call. So I would say that, you know, maybe that's what it was at the time. I mean, you've got the restaurant franchise, you've got the movie franchise, obviously Predator doing well. So it's kind of like, well, it's a no-brainer to stick his name on it, but he didn't really come through with much.
Now, the end credits there, we've got Sting, of all things, playing.
Yes.
That's a pretty weird one. So what we're doing next?
I mean, that is the question. You know, if you wanted to stick to the genre, I mean, have you ever done Tango and Cash?
No, but it has been a while since I've seen Tango and Cash.
Right. Because, I mean, like I say, it seems to be like the ones that have taken part in are very much the genre, so I'm happy to kind of stick with that. I thought I said Judd Nelson there. That's a he, wasn't it?
Judd Nielsen.
But yeah, I mean, actually, 80s, you know, I'm down to revisit a lot of the classics, but yeah, I mean, I imagine you're the one who's got the list, mate, so...
Well, I'll have a
throw
think.
some ideas.
I'll have a think. I'm on watching for a few dollars more, but I ain't doing a podcast for that.
Yeah, that's quite an interesting watch. I love Clint Eastwood. So he should pop up in an Expendables. I don't know what he would be, but I reckon he would be a good little call. Don't know if he would do it now.
I was about to direct it at one point, wasn't he?
Yeah, well, he did it when I hate when I do this. I always think this stuff, and like he just directed a film recently. I wouldn't go as far as this year. The heavy film. I remember watching, thinking that's awesome. I'll think about it. But because I say he's an awesome director. Shame his son doesn't get much going on for him, like, is he?
No.
I think all of his choices would be quite, not quite all there.
Well, he's been in Fast and Furious and stuff.
Well, yeah, but I don't think you have to be successful being those films now. I know they make money and stuff like that, but like I think like when I think of him, Scott Eastwood, I think of like instantly think of like Pacific Rim 2, which was like a massive letdown, and I don't know, was he in Independence Day? Resurgence?
I'm not sure. He was in Suicide Squad.
Yeah, but that they really underused him now. Like, if you think about like his character, I think apparently he's supposed to get a lot more screen time. I think when you look at the final cut, he's only kind of like almost like a lackey agent. He could have done a lot more with him. But yeah, I mean, he seemed to have the right look. I think that's what's interesting now with Hollywood. Once upon a time, if you had the look, you were very much just prone for a certain type of character. But I feel like it's a struggle now. I feel like, you know, some actors, you still have to. I think they're still looking for, you know, a lot more than just a physical look of a body.
Yeah. Well, this has been the podcast for Demolition Man. Thanks for joining us. Give us a thumbs up. Enjoy the channel. Me and Carl will be back for something. Probably Tango and Cash. I'm going to give that a rewatch. I'm going to try and get Casper out of his sex dungeon. Paul Ray is due back very soon for the Turtles. I think Friday I'm recording that with Paul Ray. So, yep. Thanks for listening and goodbye for now.